Today we'll be looking at the information that the Argus system can show us for washing machines. So the first thing I want to point out is at the top of the screen, if it gives you the option between for service manager or for consultant, I would recommend selecting for consultant so that down on the graph it lays the information out a little simpler and a little plainer for you. You can play with those and see which way you like best, but I would recommend for consultant. Below that on the left side we see our calendar. We can go back and forth for a 90-day duration. And all these green bars or yellow bars that you see, those are individual cycles that were ran for that day. And let's say we click on May the 6th, then it's going to load that for us on the right hand side, and we'll scroll through and see what information it gives us. So it gives us the date and time of each cycle, what cycle the customer selected, our dry load size, and if you click that little information button, it'll tell you what the parameters are there. So level 1 to 2 would be a small load, 4 to 6 would be a heavy load, and that's your dry weight. It's going to give you your display time, which that's the estimated time that's going to come up at the beginning of the cycle. It's going to give you your wet load size. So if you hit that little information bar, it's on a level of 0 to 9 on what it's detecting the load to be after it's rinsed and washed before it goes into spin. Then you have your run time. That's the actual amount of time that the cycle took. Then you have your other settings like soil level, spin speed, temperature, things like that the customer might have selected. Now that's under the options tab. Under the product status information, it gives us our dry load size, again our display time, our run time. Here we get our RPM, so it's going to tell you what RPM it tried to achieve during spin and what actual RPM that it hit. It'll give you your UB count, so if the unit went unbalanced during the cycle, you can see how many times that took place. Now there has to be a lot of UBs that take place before it'll actually give an unbalanced error. Sometimes 200 to 300 maybe have to occur before an error code will actually show up. So when you see just small counts like you see here, you're not going to have an actual error code there. And then you have your power off information. Then you have your bubble detection count. Again, I'll just scroll through and let you see the information you can see on the screen. And then units that have easy dispensers, it'll give you the information here about your easy dispenser tank and automatic amount of detergent that's going to dispense and things like that. That's what you can get from the top half of your page. Then as we scroll down, we have this table here that gives us some information from a particular cycle that we have selected. So you can see that beside error messages, it says normal, so there were no error codes. You can see what customer setting, what settings the customer had selected. You can see your operation time and the other parameters there. And then at the bottom, you get your chart. And the three things that you can see on this chart are your water level, your water temperature, and UB points. So I'll click in here and show you. So here it shows our water level at 8. So our water level chart's over on the right hand side, and it goes from 0 to 40. So 8 there would be about almost 25% full. And then our water temperature's at 87 degrees. And then just as you click through, you can see those parameters change. If there had been any unbalanced issues that took place, there would be dark blue circles on the screen at the time that the unbalanced point took place, but this cycle didn't have any to display. So this is the general information that you can see for all the cycles. And now we'll show you some examples of units that had issues during the cycle. This first example that I'll show you is how the UB point can be helpful in showing customers what's causing long cycle time. So, for example, I have March 16th pulled up here. This cycle should have completed within 28 minutes, and we can see that it ran for 49 minutes, so almost twice as long as it should have. When we scroll down and look at our chart, you see all those blue dots in the middle of the screen. Those are all unbalanced points. So the unit had to stop, put water in, agitate the clothes, drain, try to rebalance the clothes, and do that over and over again until it could finally complete the spin cycle. So you can show that data to the customer and let them know it had to do with the type of clothing or the load size or just what they had in the unit that caused the extended cycle time. So that's how you can use the UB points to your advantage to explain to the customer. This next example, we'll look at a customer that's experiencing a lot of water fill issues. So you can see on their calendar for their cycles, they have a lot of yellow cycles. And I have loaded in April the 7th. And when we move over, it'll tell us here that the power off info says IE water supply. I'll scroll down and I'll show you. So here is the chart where the customer's cycle was running, and anywhere we click in, the water level is not increasing. So it tried to run for about 13 minutes, and then if you look in the upper right hand corner, you'll see that it's given an IE error code in that red box. So this could be something where they don't have water supplied at the wall. They may be on a well and their filters on their water valves are completely clogged, closed, or something like that. But it's letting you know that there's an issue either with the valves or the water being supplied to the unit. So this is how error codes will display and how you can look for those IE codes in the information provided. In this example, this customer is also experiencing issues with water fill. As you see the yellow lines on the calendar. So we're going to select in the 10th. Let's look at our product status information. So we see here that we're getting IE error codes on this one as well, but it's a little different than the last example. So the last example, it wasn't filling at all. This one, you can see that it is filling, but notice what's happening. We're looking at our light blue line. That's our water level. It fills and then it drops, and it fills and it drops, and it fills and it drops, where it should be a continuous line going upward as it's filling with water until the drain pump kicks on. So what could be happening is causing this. You could have a drain line that's pushed too far down into the standpipe and it's causing a siphoning effect. Or there could be an issue with your pressure sensor, or the pressure sensor hose could have a pinhole in it and it's releasing pressure slowly, and that's why you see that up and down movement here. But eventually this turned into an IE error code. Again, the error code displayed in the upper right hand corner in that red box. So hopefully this information that I showed you today on washing machines will help you guys out in the field, and this Argus information will help you be more successful with your repairs going forward. Thank you.